Hello everyone, today is going to be epic because I'm at Twisted Oaks Bike Park and I'm going to be showing you 10 different tricks and techniques which are going to improve your riding and increase your excitement levels out on the trails. We're going to get straight into the action with number one, which is the easy steezy. So for the first one, you're going to need a jump and you're going to need to know how to jump like these guys. If you don't, I will be showing you some jumping techniques later on in the video. But the easy steeze is basically just doing a simple movement in the air like he did can really make your riding look way more exciting for photos and videos. I'm going to jump the jump straight now, and then I'll do another option with just a bit of a bar turn, and then another option with my knees together instead of like this, and then you'll just see the difference of just a tiny movement like that can really make you look way more exciting on the trails. So here we go, I'll get a straight jump right now. Here we go then, straight jump, nothing much to look at there, but if you were just to turn your bars like this, just a bit, you're going to add steeze to it. Have a look. Here we go. Simple turn there, making it all look a little bit more exciting. Now, if you find that you're looking back at the photos and they're looking a bit like this, then all you have to do is just put your knees a bit together. When you get that turn on, you're going to start to look way steezier like this. So as you can see there, get your knees together, relax in the air, get those bars a bit turned, and you're going to look like a veteran in the air. So forget about holding on for dear life, being dead straight. Once you're in the air, relax, you're in the air already. So you might as well just get loose, twist those bars a bit, get those legs in, and look like a steezer. Let's get on to the next one. Number two, less of a trick, more of a technique, and I'm calling it the speed increaser. Most pro mountain bikers will tell you that you want to drop your pressure to around 20 psi if you want grip round corners, but for general riding, really, and if you're not going too fast, you don't need to do that. Pumping your tyres up to 40 or above, even up to 60 like Sam rides, can actually help you go way quicker down the trails like I'm about to demonstrate. As you can see in that clip there, I still had quite a lot of grip coming down this straight and into the berms, even with the 50 psi that I'm running at the moment. And another thing that's nice to know in my head, it's going to stop me from getting a pinch flat, especially when I'm running tubes like me and Sam do. And one other thing about having the really low tyre pressures is you can actually end up spinning off takeoffs weird and getting fired in the wrong direction. So pump those up, and let's move on to number three. On to the next one then. This is the roller slider. Now behind me here is a feature that you'll probably find in a lot of bike parks. This is a roller. Feels really good to keep your flow and speed going. You can pump over it, you can just roll, it feels really nice. But if you want to add a bit of steeze and trickery to your riding, you can do what I call the roller slider. So you can come up here, unweight slightly, keep your front wheel on the ground and get the back end just sliding over it. It feels awesome, and in slow motion fires up a bit of dust, covers your mates behind, and is just like a cool fun thing to do. So let's have a look. Here we go then on the trail, rolling in, getting a slider. So fun. Whoa, I almost fell off. I love it. It's so cool. It's just an extra bit of jibbage for you to do with your friends. Especially cool when you're training, and if you've got a flat one, we can all do it in different directions, and it just feels really good. So here it is in slow motion with the unweighting, holding that brake and just sliding over. You can also fully unweight and not even brake over it, but for guaranteed effect, get a little brake on and get sliding. So here it is in slow motion. So that was the roller slider, super fun. That's more of a feeling, to be honest. Like, I couldn't really have called the video 10 fun feelings on a mountain bike, but the feeling of sliding over that does feel awesome. And obviously if you're making a sort of video or following your mates down, it is super cool and everyone's just jibbing about all down the trails. So give it a go, get steezy and get sliding. Let's get on to the next one. Turning the page on the dictionary of jibs is the nose bonk. I'm going to be demonstrating this manoeuvre to you on this tabletop behind me. Nothing more to say, just watch. So the way to do this manoeuvre, you're going to want to hit the jump in question with pretty much the same speed you would as you were to clear it. The only difference is, in the air, you're going to want to force your front wheel onto the jump. So as you can see here, you're going to want to approach the lip with the same speed as you were to if you wanted to clear it, if not a little bit more. Once you get in the air, you're going to want to start tilting the front wheel down, pushing it forwards and banging it on the actual tabletop of the jump. Once you've completed that part, you don't really have to do that much. You just want to lift it up a little bit just so you can clear into the landing properly and then roll away. One more thing, don't try it on a double because you'll die, and obviously the bigger the table, the more points. On to the next. On to the next one then. This is a short how to jump tutorial. If you want to see the full length one I did a few years ago, the link is up here. But a lot of you still ask me how to jump and some tips for that, especially when I turn up at bike parks. We got someone shredding in the back. Wow, and that was almost a good example for this video. Wow. And that was another good example of the video. So basically, the most common thing people do wrong when they jump is pull weirdly on the takeoff. This can turn you off a bit weird, because if you pull too hard with one arm you can turn slightly. And we're coming on to Lewi's thing with the high pressures. I see so many people with these crazy low pressures that when they go into the takeoffs, wow, that was sick as well, that when they go into the takeoffs, the tyre gets squished completely flat and then it doesn't know where to go, and that's when you start to get turned weird off the takeoff. So if you want to do a day of jumping, get your tyres pumped up, it's going to help loads. Now, like I said, a lot of people do this on jumps. Now if you jump like that and pull up your bike into your body with both your knees and your arms, you'll find that you can get yourself going over the handlebars, you know? And this is where if you pull too hard and you don't use your legs, you're gonna get turned and strained. The best thing to do when you're learning to jump is come at the jump at speed and just unweight slightly off the takeoff. Now I'm talking this much of coming off the ground. So basically that's all you need at the top of a takeoff. And that's going to jump you in a much smoother way, like this. So come in fast, let the jump do the work, bit of unweighting, perfect. So there I was hitting the jump, little bit of unweighting, got perfectly into the landing there, nice and safe. My trajectory stayed perfect as I rode. Definitely don't forget to do the unweighting thing. Don't just hit a jump full speed and hope you're going to get air, because if you don't initiate that lift off, you'll start to get thrown over the handlebars and stuff. So it is definitely something you got to work up to, but like I say, don't pull for all it's worth off the takeoff and bring both wheels up at the same time, because that's when you get all squirrely. But if you know how to jump and you want to take it further, then you can do the pro version, which would be lifting like this off the jump. We're going to go front then rear with the J-hop. So as soon as my front wheel lifts, I'm going to go up on that, leave it a second, pull the back up, and as you'll see now, you can go maybe 3 times higher than you would if you just did the little weightless initiation. As I said, I have a how to jump video, so that's a full length video telling you how to do it exactly. So click that if you want to know more. If not, on to the next one. Number 6 is the whip. Quite a fun little manoeuvre to do on jumps, makes it look real steezy, and me and Sam are both going to show you our different ways of doing it. I'm just going to get straight into it, show you one, and then explain. Obviously I'm no cade at doing whips, but the way that I find most comfortable doing with it is kind of doing a little carve off the lip, and then that sort of sends me into the mindset of kicking the back out like that. It's completely different on every jump you ride. You're going to find that each lip kicks you completely different, but generally best way to do it, give a little carve up the lip and then just literally follow through with that carve. I'm going to pass you over to Sam now, and he's going to show you how he does it. Nice one, Louis. That was a cool little whip you done there. As you can see, and like he said, it's all initiated on the takeoff. So here we've got a slow motion of me. I'm dropping on the line there. And on this jump, I'm doing what I like to call a kick out. It's sort of like a BMX style, more mechanical. You're pushing with your back foot, and you sort of, you're more doing it in the air with your hips. And then as I come through the trail there, I'm onto the last jump, where this is done purely off the takeoff. You sort of lay down a bit off the lip, get your bars in, and just push that bike out of your hips. It's definitely one of the hardest things to do on a mountain bike, but as soon as you learn it, it clicks in your brain and you can be whipping all day. So have fun doing it and get that bike sideways. Let's get on to the next one. Number 7, this is gaps and sends at your local riding spots. I wouldn't really advise this at bike parks, because what we're about to do is transfer from this berm into the back of that berm there, which if there's other people riding, you could take them out severely. So if you've got your own riding spots, maybe look differently at what you've made and you might find yourself some crazy gaps. Also, other features in this bike park have been made just to roll over. We're going to clear them like tables. But first off, have a look at this. Big transfer from there all the way to there. They didn't even know they just built the sickest double ever made. Here it is. That was proper. That was a new gap unlockage. That was a technical one. Had quite a few heavy cases before that. But that is a pure gap in the bike park. Not been done and just unlocked. Don't start doing it everywhere though, because it could get dangerous. Let's go and have a look at some other gaps that aren't necessarily made to be jumped. Right, that first gap was a bit excessive and probably not for everyone, but across the whole world at bike parks, you'll probably see little features like this made of wood. And if you hit them hard enough, you don't even have to touch your tyres on the top and you can just clear the whole thing. So this is what it would look like if you didn't want to clear it. And now if you hit the same thing hard enough, this happens. See, when speeds are increased and excitement levels are raised, the exacerbation of the excitement levels can increase due to the exuberance of one's brain. Now, if we look at the molecular science of one's basically, as you can see there, you don't have to ride bike parks and trails exactly as they've been intended for. You can step outside the box and shred hard, but do so at your own risk and don't annoy bike park owners and trail builders if you end up casing the back of berms and things. We're now going to move on to the next one. This next one is the STEEZEY speed scrub, and basically rather than just braking in a boring straight line, give it a nice little flick up the sides and get all dust in your friends' eyes and mouths like this. Drop in at the top, flicking around. And then stop at the bottom. Now, this is a method used to slow down, but in a cool looking way when you're down a hill. Obviously, flicking up at the sides, using your brakes, it's going to slow you down. That's pretty much all there is to it. On to the next one. We're now on to number 9, or no in German. This is the leg dangler. Not like Rossi, but like this. So basically the best place to use it is a hip, and it's just like another stylish sort of thing you can do with ease. It's just one legger. If you just jump straight with one leg, it's not as cool, but if you can get your bike a bit turned with that bar turn I showed you earlier, your leg in a bit and your leg hanging off the side, you might look something like this whilst filmed in slow motion. So that was a really pushed, extended version of the leg dangler. It's basically a stylistic move and it's super fun. You don't have to go that far. You could just hang it off slightly. You could put it here, put it there, here, there. Don't land with it in the front wheel. Could go over the bars, but that was it. That was the leg dangler. Get your legs off and dangle them. On to the finale. This next one, number 10, it's the paranormal activity. Get away! No! Oh. Okay, right. Okay, number 10 is not paranormal activity. It was supposed to be 2 different ways you can ride a trail, like fast and then slow and boosty, but right, we got carried away. So on that bombshell of 10 different tricks and techniques that you can learn and shred your trails with, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That'd be awesome if you leave some comments, and it'd be sick if you subscribe. See you in the next one.